Tell me about what happened in the first 10 years after you got out of high school.
First 10 years after I got out of high school, I got married.
Okay.
Bruce was in the military after we got married, shortly thereafter.
Okay.
And we spent the military years in Hawaii, 2 years in Hawaii.
Nice.
And where he was assigned to submarines. And he's 6'7", so it was a very...
And he's from a different high school.
Yes, from Woodside High.
Okay.
He was a basketball player, and then he went to Cal. And we dated. I met him when I was still in high school.
Did somebody you knew introduce the two of you?
Yes. Sue Hill was dating him. And I wrote in her yearbook, who was that guy you were with at the party, you know? And she said, oh, that was Bruce Steckel. And I wrote in her yearbook, Dear Bruce, you know, I'm waiting for your call. Do you believe in love at first sight? And he took her to grad night and was looking through the yearbook while she was changing out of her cap and gown and saw my note and memorized my phone number and called me. So that was that's how we had met at a party. That's how we kind of got together. So it was kind of interesting.
You have a son?
I have a son who just got married this last weekend to a beautiful girl named Tracy, and she's happy to be now Tracy Steckel. She's so thrilled.
Nice.
And the wedding was beautiful, and it was here in the yard. And so my life has been devoted to sprucing up the yard, which it always has been devoted to that.
You've worked on your house a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, I've worked on my house we've lived in this house for almost 15 years, and it was a shambles when we got it, so every bit of it has been...
Is this Rolling Hills Estates or is it RPV?
It's Rolling Hills Estates.
Okay.
Yeah. And after Hawaii, we moved to Seal Beach, and then we were there very short-lived and moved to New Jersey for 1 year. We were in 7 houses in 6 years, 7 locations in 6 years.
Wow.
4 of those years we bought houses and just
turned
them because not purposely, but we moved. So then we were in RPV, Rancho Palos Verdes, and then in San Pedro for a little bit, and then here.
Okay.
So.
Now, when did you start with horses? You're an accomplished horsewoman.
Always been horsey, even in high school, in grammar school and high school.
When
I met Bruce, his family had horses. He lived in Portola Valley.
Okay.
So he took me horseback riding. He found out that I was interested in horses, and so he took me horseback riding. And I got in thick with his family because of the riding. And so I've had horses for a long time, but I told Bruce when we lived in the San Pedro house, I said, before I die, I need to own horse property, and it's, you know, my window of opportunity is getting smaller, so we need to quickly maybe get some horse property. So we were able to buy this place because it was such a dump.
How many acres do you have and how many horses?
Just one.
And
1 acre, and I have 2 horses now. I've had as many as 5 at one time, but that was when I bred my mare a couple of times.
Interesting. And also now you're an artist.
I am an artist. I was an artist in school, high school, all through school. I've been an artist. I have an interesting thing. When we joined the golf course over here, actually just prior to joining the golf course, we were into tennis. We played tennis all the time. And I ran into one of the teachers from grammar school. She was over there. Elaine Billsland. Do you remember her?
No.
She was at Encinal.
Okay.
She was only there for a year. And I recognized her instantly. She was this beautiful young woman, teacher for us when we were in school. And she must have only been a couple of years older, like maybe 10 years older than we were.
Fairly close.
Because she was very young and beautiful. And she used to...
What's her name, Thurston?
No.
Or Burston?
No, but do you remember Mr. Borley?
Yes.
Fifth
grade
all
teacher.
The kids were tittering about Mr. Borley and Elaine Bilsland being an item. You know, they were flirtatious to one another. Anyway, I ran into her on the tennis court, and I couldn't believe, my heart stopped and she could not stand. I said, I was in your class in grammar school, you know. And
Small
she was
world.
like, ah.
I don't want to know about it.
Because, you know, it was so funny.
Oh, wow.
And so she was over at the golf club as well. It seemed like I haunted her. From the time I met her on the tennis court, just
follow
from
her.
that time, I would run into her and I would see her. We have since become good friends, and she's sort of come off of that
pedestal. Yeah.
I don't want to
fraternize.
I don't want to know about
the past.
how many years old that is, you know. So it was funny.
Dear.
But yeah, we played tennis. We were big tennis players for a very long time, and then when I finally got my own horse, I pretty much gave up tennis because I was riding all the time. I still ride every day. If I don't ride, it's like there's something wrong.
Sure.
So I am anxious for you to see the horses.
Absolutely.
And the Pinto that I have now, I had the mother for 24 years before she passed away a couple of years ago.
People probably might have forgotten that you have a brother.
I have a brother, Gordon, and you're going to see him.
And he's in our class.
I'm sure you're going to see him. And he was just here for Scott's wedding.
Okay.
So we got to see he and Bonnie Welling is his girlfriend from school, from high school. They both went separate ways, and after they were both divorced, they found each other in Atherton, visiting their parents. So that was sort of an interesting reunion as well.
Your mother's living here?
And my mother, one of the reasons that this house was attractive to us is that it has mother-in-law quarters. Maybe we should go and put her face on here.
Let's do it.
She's so cute.
Sure.
She has pretty heavy-duty Alzheimer's, but she functions well. She just had her 90th birthday, and I'm sure many of our classmates would remember her because she was always a glamorous
and beautiful
woman. And she still is, but she's let her finally, I shouldn't say she's let her hair go gray. We've let her hair go gray.
Okay, you managed it.
I think that if she had her druthers, it would probably
still be the same. Yeah, she always looked young.
Yeah. Anyway.
Who were some of your friends in high school? Female friends.
Well, of course, Leslie and Bonnie. Leslie
Hilton?
McDonald.
Okay.
Leslie McDonald. Dahl is her last name now. And even though we don't see each other often, we're still, I mean, it's like the years don't melt by. I saw Grace Crittenton not too long ago at a reunion, at one of our reunions. And, you know, I just liked everybody in high school. I didn't have I wasn't part of a kind of a particular group, and I just liked everybody. I can't think of nobody pops into my mind that I think, oh man, I didn't particularly care for that person. I really liked everybody. And artwork, a little bit that I've done, this was my old mare with the filly that that I have now, that's now 9 years old.
Okay.
This was a picture of,
Yeah.
this is one that I just did of Chip at an art class that I took recently. I'm not really a painter, but I did decide to take a couple of painting classes.
That's a Photoshop over there?
That's a Photoshop one of my two fillies. I've bred two fillies, and this here.
Really? You made that one?
Yeah, I like to do woodwork too.
Oh.
So I designed and made that table. And actually, Gordy, my brother, did the metal work on it. That's in here I did on the computer and then handed him just the rendering, you know, not the specs. And he did the specs and the execution. Guess what, Mom? Tom and I have known each other since grammar school.
Encinal.
Encinal Grammar School.
In elementary school and high school together.
Good.
Yeah. So this is your barn.
Yeah. And when we were remodeling and trying to get into the house, I would take all the carpenters and bring them down here.
Okay.
Bruce would come home from work and say, "Why aren't the boys working up at the house?"
Yeah.
I'd say, "Oh, they just came down to fix something down there." Who, his father died, and he has his own trust fund, and he lives here on his own money. So I take care of him. He's about 30 years old, and little Arab.
Beautiful.
And he just living out his life here.
Nice.
And he has lots of admirers. In fact, if you look over here, this little boy is severely handicapped. I don't know if you can get a picture of this, but let's
Try, yeah.
This little boy is severely handicapped with something called Angelman's syndrome. And he's very retarded. A wonderful little boy, but he comes and plays with Ebony. Ebony turned into a therapy horse at age 25.
So he bonds with him. You designed that. Okay.
Yeah, I designed this gate for us to be able to walk through.
But the horses
The
can't.
horses can't walk through.
Good
So
move.
You can't. You don't have to open a gate every time you're. And I have these little walk-through areas all the way around the barn, so you can walk
Sure.
through. Hi. Do you want me to show Tom a trick that you know how to do?
Nice.
So we just played. She used to stand in that swimming pool before it got demolished. But the other thing that I wanted to do, because my property is so multi-level, is I wanted to exercise her down here. So let me see if I can get her to do her thing.
Nice. What is this?
This is the dung buster. This is my brother and I invented the dung buster. It shreds the horse manure, and then I compost it, and it composts about 10 times faster than regular composting. And the golf course comes and takes all of the material to add to their garden.
And you and Gordy designed it.
Yes, we made it, and it's the best thing ever.
Dung Buster. Don't
Yep.
forget it. It's your neighborhood store. Isn't that amazing? They know it. Not possible.
See, too big.